Access routes in the United States by Nigerian carriers remain an ongoing discussion between both countries under the Open Skies Agreement. And that's coming from the United States Consul General, Mr. John Bray. He was speaking at the signing ceremony for the sale of 10 new Boeing 737 MAX aircraft to domestic carrier Air Peace.
What I can say is the United States government and the Nigerian government, including air carriers based in Nigeria, there is a continuous dialogue that is ongoing and has been ongoing for years and years and years. As you know now, there are some aircraft that are originating here and flying direct routes to the United States and returning. As long as that happens, that dialogue goes on to assure the safety and security of the passengers. So, in terms of greater access, it requires greater dialogue, and it requires the carriers to be qualified in order to fly these routes. And this is determined jointly by the two governments through dialogue, like I said, that is continuous and happens every month, where they come and visit and spend time here and at the airport.
Thanks, Ijoma. Welcome to Sports News. The Handball Federation of Nigeria, HFN, has confirmed that the final phase of the 2018 Premier League will hold from September the 25th to October the 7th. HFN President Samuel Ocheho said that 12 men's and 10 women's clubs are expected to feature at the tournament scheduled for the Mobolaji Johnson Sports Complex in Yaba, Lagos. The overall winners of the league will represent Nigeria at the African Champions League later this year. Niger United of Minna are the current leaders in the men's division, while Safety Babes of Abuja lead the women's category. And in basketball, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalung, has charged the Tigress to compete clean and fair when they start their FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup campaign in Spain. Dalung said the government is giving equal opportunities to all sportsmen and women to excel at the grassroots and international stage. That's it on Sports News. Back to Ijoma with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Ghana and indeed all of Africa today bid farewell to former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan in a state funeral where he was hailed as an advocate for humanity and world peace. Sitting presidents and former heads of states were joined by dignitaries around the world to pay their last respects at the Accra International Conference Center.
Dignitaries arrive at the funeral ceremony of late former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. Among them are the current UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, President George Weah of Liberia, President of Pt.4 Alassane Ouattara, and former President of Nigeria Olusegun Obasanjo. Annan, a Ghanaian national and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, died in a Swiss hospital last month at the age of 80. He was surrounded in his last days by his wife, Nane, and children, Ama, Kojo, and Nina.
Dear friends of our beloved Kofi, thank you for all your support at this difficult time. Dear Ghana, I remember how excited he always was returning home to Ghana. On arrival, he would draw in the air, feel the sense, and he would look so happily content. I always believed that his inner strength and sense of whole came from his deep roots here, and I want to thank Ghana for giving us such an extraordinary human being.
Highly admired Secretary General of the United Nations.
Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo praised the late Annan for bringing fame and glory to his homeland.
He brought considerable renown to our country by this position and by his conduct and comportment in the global arena. Indeed, the outpouring of tributes from the world over is an accurate measure of the man, a man who gave his life to making peace where there was conflict, to defending the voiceless who were powerless, to promoting virtue where there was evil.
The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also praised the late Annan for his wisdom.
Dear friends, let us continue to heed that voice of grace and reason, the voice of morality and solidarity. Our world needs it more now than ever. As we face the headwinds of our troubled and turbulent times, let us always be inspired by the legacy of Kofi Annan and guided by the knowledge that he will continue speaking to us, urging us on towards the goals to which he dedicated his life and truly moved our world. Thank you very much.
The funeral service marks the climax of weeks of preparation to celebrate the life of one of the world's most respected diplomats. The ceremony was followed by a private burial with full military honors and a 17-gun salute.
Rest in peace, Kofi Annan. And the main news again, vast areas of farmlands and residences across Niger State were today submerged by heavy flooding. The State Governor, Abubakar Bello, who visited displaced residents, appealed for the federal government's intervention. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Good night.